see, fun. And here we are back with Forever Football Show to talk about the most interesting group, the one that we are following the closest, and again, America's surprising or not, just staying in there. Let's talk, of course, about U.S. game against Slovenia. What do you think, Aaron? What is the emotion, the ups and downs of that game?
Well, the U.S. game against Slovenia really reminded me a lot of the game before the tournament against Turkey. Kind of a story of two halves, you know. U.S. looked pretty sloppy in the back in the first half. The second half, they came out ready to go, you know, goal in the first, 2 minutes of the second half.
It's been like that since the Confederations Cup. I remember the goals that were conceded to Brazil and Italy in the first half.
It makes for entertaining games. I mean, this World Cup, a lot of games have been called boring. With the U.S., you know you're in for a little bit of drama, I suppose. Especially the referee certainly contributed to that drama.
We have an entire segment just for the referee of that game. John, what do you think about the game? I thought that the U.S. came a little bit too confident in the first half, thinking that they had done their job tying with England. And I always thought that the most difficult game for the U.S. in this tournament was going to be with Slovenia. How did you see that game?
I don't know if I agree with that so much. I mean, I think they came in thinking they probably were going to lose to England and that they were going to have to ramp it up against Slovenia and Algeria. And they were just sloppy and a little lackadaisical in that first half. I agree. But hey, forget all that. It's a 90-minute game. I don't care if you play 45 minutes poorly. It's what happens at the final 90th minute. And that was an incredibly impressive display of soccer in terms of a never say die attitude. Coming back, Landon Donovan's. We were at a bar watching it down in Lower Queen Anne, and Landon Donovan's goal, when he hammered that home with such authority, one of my buddies said, it's like an authoritative slam dunk in basketball. He put that in. It was like, we're back in this game and we're not stopping until we win it. And it was just a very impressive comeback. I think it would, unfortunately, would have been the storyline of the biggest storyline of the World Cup had they overcome a 2-0 deficit to win 3-2. It would have been by far, it was already, in my opinion, probably the best game of the World Cup. It would have been, on another level had they actually come back and actually won it, which we'll get into the refereeing later. But
now, we were talking about the refereeing, and a lot of people are just talking about the incompetence of canceling that goal. I think that the referee was ill-intentioned from the beginning of the game. Every ball that the U.S. crossed into the area, set pieces or played, the referee called something. I was even more impressed or more disappointed with the call of giving the yellow card to Finley, which that was because, the goal he canceled at the moment, the yellow card to Finley, keeps Finley out of the next game. I think it has a bigger impact, and nobody's talking about it. I think the U.S. should even contest and go back to that. Filippo, I think you agreed with did you think the referee was incompetent or ill-intentioned?
No, I think that it was on purpose what he did. And if something like that happened to Italy or Spain, I don't know Brazil because they are so good that they don't need to criticize the referee. But believe me that this referee cannot come to Italy never in his life. Because honestly, it was an appropriate call about the goal. The goal was totally good. And United States lost 2 points. That's it.
In Brazil, when we watch games like this, we say that the referee called for a perigo de gol. It's a danger, too dangerous of a play, meaning, too imminent of a goal. We need to cancel it.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that we could see there.
We've certainly been debating this for the last few days and what actually happened there. And one of the interesting things that we were talking about is kind of the psychology of refereeing at that point in a game. Towards the last 10 minutes, you're almost in a mindset more comfortable having a 2-2 tie than letting a goal go in and having it decided that you missed the call. It's better to say, a foul happened and it ends in a 2-2 tie. So I think we get more cautious towards pulling a goal back.
The thing is that he was too close. He was too close to the play. You could see the replay. All the replays are calling the attention to the players. I was looking. He was right there. He could see everything that was happening.
But there were multiple fouls on the play against the U.S. There were many times he could have blown the whistle to call a foul.
I thought that he was calling a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, same. It's like you look and there's probably 2 potential penalty calls in there, and nowhere did you see a U.S. player dragging on a Slovenian player. You know?
It was just a shame because, as I said, people had concentrated on that. If it wasn't for that, the refereeing would have still been pretty bad. And everybody's focusing on that particular play. I thought it was an entire game of bad calls.
But I guess you guys, you should learn something from that game. United States is a good team, but they need to be concentrated on the game all the time. So I think they deserve to go ahead. And so far, it's the best team in the third group, but it will be not so easy against Algeria.
Yeah, and with that, I actually want to start a campaign. My personal campaign: take Alexi Lalas out of TV, because the guy, as a defender, he called a lot of attention because of his hair.
Yeah.
As a club manager,
and his guitar.
As a club manager, he only started LA Galaxy only started to do well after he left. And as a commentator, he's just an angry fan.
And I must have added that he's a bad musician too. I had his CD once, and it was awful.
Let's start a campaign. Take Alexi Lalas out of TV. Because actually, I think that he's creating a mindset for the fans that the games of the U.S. are going to be too easy. He's just saying, like, Algeria, and he actually claps his hands on TV. I very much wish that the U.S. qualifies, but somehow I wanted him to burn his tongue.
You know, one last point on just this controversy with the refs and the U.S. In some respects, if we advance, it is not the worst thing that would happen, because the attention that's been brought to it. I was watching TV today, and Serena Williams from Wimbledon was talking about it and how upset she was watching the game. So it's brought a lot of attention to American soccer, the bad call, unfortunately. And maybe if we can get the momentum into the second round out of the group stage, maybe it will just be part of our history.
Now let's talk a little bit of conspiracy theory here. I just don't understand how come FIFA doesn't put videos, doesn't go to revisit the videos. The excuses are always that, it's going to slow the game, but you can do like tennis when you have like just an allowance of number of calls that you can review. There's so many different things that can be done. But look, when it gets to the point that unfair plays happen, like Henry goal against Ireland, right? France took Ireland out of the World Cup to do this, shameful performance. Then you have a bad call like that could have absolutely been revised. Well, it's just, why not using videos? What's the deal with that?
Well, we talked about it last week. You said, what role would technology play in soccer? And I said, replay potentially. So we have a special guest in here.
Yeah. Substitution. I just want to talk to you from a refereeing standpoint. So I've refereed for 7 years. I've been trained official. We've learned from MLS referees some of the worst we've seen. That's true. In soccer all around. But now they've changed up the way they referee. Now I think they could use it to their advantage. When you're talking about video replay, there's always 4 referees. You have the 4th official that checks people in and out. You have, and that's all he really does. And he communicates with the coaches. Now I think he could be used for a video replay. They all have microphones. They're all talking to each other.
Yeah, and we're on the side of giving the goal, and if necessary, cancel it. But you know why I think the FIFA doesn't put the videos? Now the conspiracy theory part. That's how they manage to keep some level of control over results. Because they would not have wanted France to be out of the World Cup. So why bother going to a video that could cancel that? Am I?
Maybe it's too much.
Too far?
Maybe you are too far. But consider something that we have to be honest about that. European and South American referee are better than the others. Because they are usable referee in important games. Most of them are just incompetent, and they cannot referee in such important competition.
Well, let's go for a quick break, and we'll continue talking about the U.S. group because we still have to talk about England as well, and the surprising result. Yeah. We'll go for a quick break, and we'll be back in just a few seconds. Stay with us for Football Show.